Hey guys, welcome back to Raptor's Garage and the new Land Rover Discovery Extreme Off-Roader project. We're going to show you how to take a vehicle like this and convert it into an off-road monster like this by putting the biggest lift kit we can find, jacking the suspension up and sticking massive tyres on it.
No, Chris. This is a death trap.
Yeah, to be honest, it scares the crap out of me when I drive it. So this is how not to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Don't build your suspension like this.
So guys, the only way I can describe driving this vehicle is like if you're a bit of a novice at computer games and you ever go at one of those driving games and you turn the wheel and nothing happens, and then all of a sudden you find you're heading towards the right hand bank, so you turn it, and then all of a sudden you're heading towards the left hand bank, so you turn it, and you're going towards the right hand bank, and all these other cars just keep passing you as normal and you're just doing this. That's like driving this thing. It's an absolute nightmare.
It's literally the scariest thing. I've driven some badly set up Land Rovers and this was the worst. Just to make it drivable, we took off the ordinary turrets because I had a spare set of HD ones. Not that makes any difference to how it handles, but we were doing anyway. But we took the bog weight off the diff because it doesn't need it. It's on 35-inch tyres. That's not doing a lot. That counterbalance. The bits that were left over from the anti-roll bars, we took them off. We changed that low pressure oil return pipe just because it was peeing oil over everything. We couldn't see anything. But just before we even started that's the front drag link, and that's pretty badly worn because it moves up and down. The other end, that's not too bad. But that was the worst one because it actually physically was moving up and down when we were wiggling the steering wheel.
I'm pretty sure that's meant to be straight, isn't it?
That's the rear drag link that now looks like a banana. So the wheels were sort of like that, or like that, whichever way to bend. Yeah, like that because it was bent upwards. So it wasn't steering very straight. And then, well, that's just knackered. And that's just the start of setting this suspension up. We've got a long way to go.
So basically is this got a body lift on?
No.
It's got just a what size suspension?
It's barely got the body on.
There isn't a lot of body, but you can actually see the floor, the ground.
There's no body mounts. I think there's about 3 that are attached, and the rest of them are sort of like a memory.
Yeah.
The floor's a memory because you can actually watch the road while you're driving along.
That's how you follow the white lines.
Yeah. So it's got the parking sensor, so you can, when you pull up on the white on the yellow lines, you can actually see where they are.
Lines. So what lift has this got on it at the moment?
It's got a 2-inch lift, 2-inch springs with 2-inch blocks.
Right, and you're not a big fan of blocks, are you?
I'm not a big fan of blocks, but it has got 4-inch shocks on.
Right.
So it's got the plus 4-inch shocks, so I can live with the blocks.
Yeah.
But they've not changed any of the standard suspension.
Yeah.
So the radius arms, the panhard rod, it's very windy guys if you haven't noticed. The panhard rod, so that's a standard one, so it's got a 4-inch lift, so all the wheels are pulled that way.
Yeah. So
it crabs down the road.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Front arms are standard caster. Instead of a 6, it should be a 6-degree caster.
6 degrees,
it needs to be 6 degrees on a 4-inch or a 5-inch lift.
Yeah.
It needs double cranked rear radius arms, and it needs the correction. What is it? An adjustable A-frame ball joint to get the caster right on the back.
Yeah, cool.
Just to make the damn thing drive straight.
Right. And then
but mechanically, it's really good.
Yeah, and once all that's done, then guys, like, this is going to be a cool series because everything from here backwards
is going away.
it's getting the plasma, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being cut off. So that's going to be a cool project, but first thing we need to do is make this thing
Drivable.
actually, yeah, drivable. Right.
Now we've seen the old suspension that we've taken off this truck, now we can have a look at the good stuff that's going on. Now, these are from our new channel sponsors, Adrenaline 4x4. Now look at these are awesome. These are the new rear radius arms. In fact, they should be probably that way round, but you get the idea. They're a double cranked rear radius arm. How cool are they? These are like 40, I haven't got a tape measure with me guys, but these are like 40mm tube, and the work that's gone into these is unreal. These are so nicely made. So those are going on the rear of the truck. They're 6 degree caster correction plus 10mm longer because of the height of this truck. So they're really nice. I'm quite pleased with them. But these are the front ones. These are 6 degree caster correction because of the lift on this truck, but look at them. I mean, big thanks to Adrenaline for sending us these. These are awesome, and they're not light either. These are solid. Hang on, let me put it that way, you can probably see it better. These are solid 20mm plate by the looks of it. I think they're either 19 or 20mm plate, because I've just had a quick measure of these. That's a solid bar, that's not a hollow tube. That is unreal. So, and the work that's gone into making these. If you break one of these, well, let's face it, you're not going to break one of these. You're going to rip your front axle off before you break one of these, because the axle is a lot thinner than that. These are cool. This is going to be a good build. Let's just put that down quietly. No, didn't do it. I've got some of these as well. These are shock mounts for the rear. These are from Adrenaline. Now these were in the workshop because we fitted their stuff before, so I'm going to put those on. And somewhere in the post where it's now lost, excuse me, somewhere in the post that's now lost is a set of 30mm solid front drag links. When they arrive, I'll get them on film and I'll show you those too. It's a whole kit, so it's the front and rear drag links, mount for the steering damper, and ball joints, and that's coming for the front. So that is going to pretty much set this suspension back where it should be with the height it's got. But the only thing we've got to do after that is panhard rod. I've got to put a panhard rod on the front, an adjustable one, and I've got to get an adjustable A-frame, either an adjustable A-frame ball joint or an adjustable A-frame, one or the other, to set the caster correction on the back axle, and hopefully this truck will drive. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a walk around this truck and show you the good points and the bad points. So, okay, where do we start with the bad points? There's a lot of bad points. Let's start at the back. Well, the rear cross member on the truck is completely rotten. As you can see, that is just gone. The body's actually collapsed. This piece here is supposed to be straight. It's supposed to be like that, but this is actually collapsed and compressed the body down. So that's one of the bad bits. And one of the points to look out for if you're buying a disco, this rear cross member, let me just set this camera so you can actually see. I don't know if you can see up there, it's quite dark, but where this is all rotted through here, that is where you need to look on discos if you're thinking of buying one, because that's one of the bad places. But yeah, so rear cross member, that's bad. Please excuse all the boxes from adrenaline because I had nowhere to chuck them last night. Let's chuck those out the truck. I forgot they were in there. Right. Boot floor. Completely rotten. Now, if you have a look at that boot floor, you can actually see where the body is bent, where the back's dropped, because that rear cross member's rotten. So basically the truck has broke its back like that across that centre support. So that's a bad point. There's no headliner. Not actually, you know, too much of a problem not having a headliner, but it was one thing we noticed when we bought it. But we're not overly bothered about that, because in a minute I'll tell you what we're actually going to do. So basically, rust is a bad point. Now when I picked it up, it did have body panels here, but I chopped them off because they were annoying me and I needed to get round to see things. Now if we look up there, all the floor's rotten, all this is just rot. So the floor's rotten, the wheel arches are rotten. That's just a piece of plate. I don't think that's a piece of plate. It might be a piece of plate just stuck on. So this is all rotten. All in there, you know, all this wheel arch is rotten and plate. So basically we're still on bad bits of rust. Door doesn't open. Back door hasn't got a tie down strap on it. Hang on, I'm going to put my hand in shot. Back door hasn't got the strap on it to stop the door over opening. More rot. Quality. No, that door does open. The wiring in this truck is diabolical, guys. I've torn out a load of it just because I didn't want it to burst into flames, but household cable, switches just hacked in. Hang on. A relay that runs constant. Oh, turn that off. We'll get demonetized for having music on. There's a relay that runs constantly. Push button start because they've hacked the alarm spider up on it. That doesn't work. That's actually the good side. Now all the body mounts on this truck are rotten. So yeah, that's some 75 by 100mm box that someone's welded in as sills. That I don't mind, that actually works quite well. Let's go. That's another thing you've got to look out for, guys, when you're buying a disco, is sills. Let's go around this side. No number plate. The number plate's actually been hacked down, put in the window. Another bad point. That door does open. Right. Down there. You can see straight through the floor. Now that body mount that's under there isn't even attached to the box section, it's just sitting on top of the chassis. So there's no body mount on this side. In fact, there's very few body mounts attached on this car. And you're still going, why did you buy it? Let's go and have a look at the other fun bits. So, under the engine bay. Now, you already know that we've changed those shock towers and put the dislocation cones in the front as part of the suspension upgrades that we're doing on this truck, so that wasn't a good point. That's something we've fitted. Right, where do I start with the bad points, guys? Inner wings, completely rotten. Bad. I mean, completely rotten. bottom of the light boxes. These are still places that if you're buying a disco you need to be looking. The bottom of that light box that you can see straight through, and that mount just here isn't actually a mount, it's actually collapsed. That's a bad point. Still the places you need to be looking for if you're buying a disco though. All these inner wings, and this isn't the best shot I know, are just plate. They're just closed up bits of plate. They've all got to come out, they're just junk. So we're still on the bad bits, aren't we here? Same the other side. Well, that one's actually that's actually part of it. That one's actually still got the real football, you know, the factory box sectioning, because it's got the reinforcing in it. But still, this has all been plated badly. So yeah, still got this section in here. That's factory, but still bad. Still got to be sorted. So yeah, that's just some of the bad points. That's the let's just have a quick think of some of the other bad points it's got. Oh, it's got ABS. That was what, while we're on there, yeah. This truck's got ABS brakes. And there's the ABS. That doesn't work. And you know, oh hang on. And you know, we changed that oil pipe all the way down there, which you can't really see, but we changed that because it was just chucking oil out everywhere. But yeah, the ABS doesn't work on this truck, so that's something else we've got to address. Did I tighten that Jubilee clip? I did tighten that Jubilee clip on. So oh, we've put these pipes on. They were just the ordinary rubber ones, but these were left over from doing Chris's red truck, so I scabbed them off him. So good points. No, actually we're still on the bad points. Yeah, we're still on brakes, aren't we? So the brakes themselves aren't too bad. It's got stainless hoses, we haven't put those in, so the stainless hoses are there. And the brake discs aren't bad. There's no mud shields on anything, but I'm just looking if there's, oh, there's actually clearance on that. Yeah, the brakes themselves are alright. And hello Alf. What's up Alf? He's come to see what's going on. Okay, go away. Bye Alf. Oh no, he's going to lie down where we're filming. Right, so brakes themselves are alright, they work, but they need bleeding. It has every now, well, while you're driving it, you have to sit there and pump the brakes up when you're ready to stop, so the brakes need bleeding. But what we're actually going to do is delete the ABS, because the age of the truck, we can actually delete the ABS and go back to just like a dual circuit brake system. So that ABS pump's going away, and then we're going to redo the brakes with no ABS. If the vehicle was built after 2001, it would have to have the ABS, but this one doesn't. So I guess that's sort of a plus and a minus altogether, that we can actually remove the ABS. Right, good points guys. Good point. Engine is sound. It's showing 171,000 miles on the clock, but this engine is really good. It pulls well, it's strong. Bad point, someone's messed with the pump. So I've been spending a while playing with the injector pump, trying to get it to stop just pouring black smoke out. I've got it somewhere like, I've actually got more power out of it now as well, because it's not over fueling. But I think someone's actually, well, I know someone, because the security tab off the actual fuel mixture's been broken off, so that's going to need looking at. But I'm going to stick the advanced timing ring in from Forby. I'm going to advance the timing, turn that down. I've turned down the spoke ring and I've turned the star wheel up, but I have got a boost pin in it now, instead of the pin that was in it was just an ordinary pin that someone had just filed down. So I'll get that sorted, I'll get that dialed in. But good engine, the engine is absolutely brilliant. Let's move round here. Next bit, good gearbox. Gearbox is brilliant, transfer box is brilliant. No knocks, bangs, clunks, anything. So that's a plus. So good engine, good gearbox, bad body. Axles seem really good. So if we go around here, the axles themselves, that one someone's had apart because that looks like it's had a replacement diff in it. I assume they've probably blown it up. But I dumped the oil out, which was horrible in it the other day because it got water in it. Even though it's got extended breathers, so I must check the seals, unless they've put the breathers on after they got water in it. But the axles themselves, really good. No noise, no nothing from them. Exhaust system, bad. You've just got a straight through pipe. We've got to modify that. We've got to put at least one box in it. For the simple reason, hang on, I don't know if you can see under there. Oh, it's probably too dark. Maybe. Yeah, you can sort of see it. It's just got a straight through pipe on it. So what we are going to do is I'm just going to put a mid box in it, and then either side pipe or straight pipe out the back. So running gear, bar the brakes need looking at, but the actual brakes themselves work good. Tyres, good tyres, good set of tyres on it. Expensive set of tyres as well. They're not cheap. They are 35 12.5 by 15s on deep dish rims, so they weren't cheap. Shocks, springs. Shocks Pro Comp WES 9000s. Yeah, middle of the range shock. Not that good, not that bad really. Rear springs, they're good. Rear dislocation cones, good. 2-inch blocks, not a big fan, but they'll do for what we're doing with this truck. So that's basic. Oh, it's got a snorkel as well. Snorkel and extended breathers, also a plus. A winch bumper, no winch though, and I've autographed it. If you have a look, I've actually autographed the bumper. So a lot of good components, just a really bad body. Oh, one big plus. It's alright, I've got all the bits, I haven't picked them up yet. One big plus on this truck, one that I should have actually pointed out earlier, is that the chassis is mint. I can't believe how good the chassis is on this, guys. I actually think the chassis on this one is better than the one on my black truck, bar, I'll trip over that, bar that bit. It's got, can't see that, there you go. Bar that, it's got one hole there, that's it. That is the only thing wrong with this chassis. Hello Alf, Alf's come back to see us. What's up Alf? Oh, it's Alf and Safety's been out to approve it. So that's the only bad bit on this truck, guys. So yeah, that's the only bad bit on the chassis, I should say, not on the truck. The truck's got a lot of bad bits, but other than that, it's absolutely solid, that is. I can't believe how good that chassis is. So yeah, there's the truck walk around and what's going on. So let me just tell you what we're going to be doing. So what we're going to be doing with this truck is we're going to be making it into a pickup. So because the body is so rotten on it and it's not worth salvaging, we're going to use this as a comp truck / laning truck and like a backup filming truck as well. So we're going to fit it out to take the cameras and all the other bits, but we're going to use it on competition days and, you know, laning weekends where we can't use the big trucks. So let me just show you where we're going to cut and what we're going to do. So obviously we're going to be keeping the front two seats. So front 2 seats, front 2 doors, A-pillars. Back doors are going. So we're going to get, I think the firm's called Long Granger, or yeah, Long Granger, make a fiberglass kit. So we're going to get their fiberglass rear section to go in there. So we're going to cut down here. Well, we're not going to cut down the glass. We're going to remove this door and put a new section in here. We're going to put a low roof on it, so it's going to have the fiberglass low roof, so that all those sunroofs are going away. Yep, so we're going to make it a pickup with a long tray, put a storage box on the back so we can put all of the equipment in it, recovery stuff, even the fridge for if we're going for a long weekend. We're going to put a rear winch, a front winch, so it's going to be twin winched. We're going to build a roll cage. We're going to take out those front inner wings. They're going. And we're probably just going to make tubular inner wings and wrap these round into it, so make it a lot stronger. Basically we're just going to delete the body and make a new one, because this is, oh, it's just rotten, isn't it? Just a quick add-on to the last bit of video. A couple of days has passed and the post has arrived, and I just thought I needed to show you these. Oh, hang on. The new drag links for this truck. Now, it's not the best shot in the world, is it? It's just a piece of bar, but what a piece of bar. So, new drag links for the front of the truck. Again, superb work. This is going to be such a good build. What you get when you buy the drag links are a new way of to locate the steering damper. So, because these are just straight tubes, this bolts onto the axle, steering damper goes in there to the diff. I think I'm going to put an RTC on this truck and move the steering damper up to the front like a Defender. Get a new set of locking nuts, left-handed. I think, well, those two are marked left-handed, so I'm assuming they're standard thread and they're left-handed, because they are actually marked left-handed, just stamped into them, so you know which side goes which. Because as you know, you've got a left-handed and a right-handed ball joint to go on either end. You get a full set of new ball joints as well, guys, with the kit. So yeah, cool. Just thought I'd add this onto the end, so big thanks to Adrenaline again, and you can now watch the rest of the video. So there you go, guys, that's where we're up to with this truck, and hope you like this video. Leave us a thumbs up if you like the video, leave us a message below. Go to our new merch shop, buy yourself a shirt and some stickers, and I'll see you on the next one. Ready? Yeah. Ready? It's gonna fall. No, you just walk up.